Hey you, I see you on the Anointed channel YouTube. Are you recording for the next story?
Yes, today I will be talking about Genesis chapter 26, Isaac and Abimelech.
Wow. Nice.
A severe famine now struck the land, as had happened before in Abraham's time. So Isaac moved to Gerar, where Abimelech, king of the Philistines, lived. The Lord appeared to Isaac and said,
"Do not go down to Egypt, but so as I tell you. Live here as a foreigner in this land, and I will be with you and bless you. I hereby confirm that I will give all these lands to you and your descendants, just as I solemnly promised Abraham, your father. I will cause your descendants to become as numerous as the stars of the sky, and I will give them all the lands. And through your descendants all the nations of the earth will be blessed. I will do this because Abraham listened to me and obeyed all my requirements, commands, decrees, and instructions."
So Isaac stayed in Gerar. When the men who lived there asked Isaac about his wife, Rebekah, he said,
"She is my sister."
He was afraid to say she is my wife. He thought they will kill me to get her, because she is so beautiful. But some time later, Abimelech, king of the Philistines, looked out his window and saw Isaac caressing Rebekah. Immediately, Abimelech called for Isaac and exclaimed,
"She is obviously your wife. Why did you say, she is my sister?"
"Because I was afraid someone would kill me to get her from me."
"How could you do this to us? One of my people might easily have taken your wife and slept with her, and you would have made us guilty of great sin."
Then Abimelech issued a public proclamation,
"Anyone who touches this man or his wife will be put to death."
When Isaac planted crops that year, he harvested 100 times more grain that he planted, for the Lord blessed him. He became a very rich man, and his wealth continued to grow. He acquired so many flocks of sheep and goats, herds of cattle, and servants that the Philistines became jealous of him. So the Philistines filled up all of Isaac's wells with dirt. These were the wells that had been dug by the servants of his father, Abraham. Finally Abimelech ordered Isaac to leave the country.
"Go somewhere else," he said, "for you have become too powerful for us."
So Isaac moved away to the Gerar valley, where he set up the tent and settled down. He reopened the wells his father had dug, which the Philistine had filled in after Abraham's death. Isaac also restored the names Abraham had given them. Isaac's servants also dug in the Gerar valley and discovered a well of fresh water. But then the shepherds from Gerar came and claimed the spring. "This is our water," they said, and they argued over it with Isaac's herdsmen. So Isaac named the well Esek, which means argument. Isaac's men then dug another well, but again there was a dispute over it, so Isaac named it Sitnah, which means hostility. Abandoning that one, Isaac moved on and dug another well. This time there was no dispute over it, so Isaac names the place Rehoboth, which means open space.
At last the Lord has created enough space for us to prosper in this land.
From there Isaac moved to Beersheba, where the Lord appeared to him on the night of his arrival.
"I am the God of your father, Abraham. Do not be afraid, for I am with you and will bless you. I will multiply your descendants, and they will become a great nation. I will do this because of my promise to Abraham, my servant."
Then Isaac built an altar there and worshipped the Lord. He set up his camp at that place, and his servants dug another well. One day King Abimelech came from Gerar with his advisor, Ahuzzath, and also Phicol, his army commander. But Isaac asked,
"Why have you come here? You obviously hate me, since you kicked me off your land."
"We can plainly see that the Lord is with you. So we want to enter into a sworn treaty with you. Let's make a covenant. Swear that you will not harm us, just as we have never troubled you. We have always treated you well, and we sent you away from us in peace. And now look how the Lord has blessed you."
So Isaac prepared a covenant feast to celebrate the treaty, and they ate and drank together. Early the next morning, they each took a solemn oath not to interfere with each other. Then Isaac sent them home again, and they left him in peace. That very day Isaac's servants came and told him about a new well they had dug. "We have found water," they exclaimed. So Isaac named the well Sheba, which means oath. And to this day the town Tag grew up there is called Beersheba, which means well of the oath.
An interesting story, so many lessons to learn from it.
Isaac did not allow himself to be discouraged. He kept on digging for another well. So no matter what, we should never give up even if people are trying to discourage us from doing the right thing. Isaac was patient as well. He did not stop digging for new well. Also, we must learn to be patient.
Yes, that is true. Did you notice that Isaac also lied about Rebekah being his sister instead of his wife because he was afraid?
Yes, that reminds me of how Abraham also lied about Sarah. So we must be careful not to learn bad behavior from older people. Isaac learned lying from Abraham.
Exactly. Also, we can see that caressing is only meant to be between husband and wife. That is how Abimelech knew that Isaac was lying when he saw Isaac caressing his wife Rebekah.
So true. Any caressing done outside marriage is a sin. So we should not allow anyone to caress us. For caressing is only meant for people who are married.
Correct. Another lesson is that when Isaac planted, God gave the increase. So God is the one who bless our efforts. So we cannot take the glory for any success we achieve.
Oh, okay. Is that our memory verse?
Yes, Genesis 26:12. When Isaac planted his crops that year, he harvested 100 times more grain than he planted, for the Lord blessed him.
Genesis 26:12. When Isaac planted his crops that year, he harvested 100 times more grain than he planted, for the Lord blessed him.
Genesis 26:12. When Isaac planted his crops that year, he harvested 100 times more grain than he planted, for the Lord blessed him.
Genesis 26:12. When Isaac planted his crops that year, he harvested 100 times more grain than he planted, for the Lord blessed him.
Yes, so Isaac planted, but God gave the increase. If we work hard, God will bless our work. If we study, God will multiply our effort. So we must always rely on God for everything, for only God who can bring about increase.
Amen.
Like Jesus, to be like Jesus, all I ask, to be like Him, all through life's journey, from earth to glory. All I ask, to be like Him, to be like Jesus, to be like Jesus.